Hello, and welcome to episode 16, part 1 of Unfettered, brought to you by Top Hat's technical difficulties. How are you two doing? Top Hat.
My computer's been having a field day recently. It apparently it doesn't like it when I don't have doors and windows open to my room.
Oh, yeah, really? What with your room only being approximately 2,000 degrees? That's surprising.
But no, because my room is fucking freezing. I'm wearing a blanket right now just below camera.
Wait, really?
So it will freak out, and then I'll open my window, freeze to death, and then my computer starts running perfectly fine, and like the parts aren't overheating. I've stuck my hand in the computer and checked everything, like, oh, yeah, this is fine. Let's. And then it's just like I close my windows and stuff. It's like, nah, it wants fresh air.
Yeah, come on, it's healthier that way.
Weird. How about you,
that...
Crispy?
I'm doing pretty good. I turned 21 like last week, and I have bought like some alcohol, and I'm really mad because I haven't been carded any of the times I've done it. It's just like, what was even the point?
That's the greatest. Yeah, I actually had a similar experience shortly after I turned 21. My family, we were visiting grandparents out in sort of like SoCal wine country, and we went by a winery, and my sister and I go up to the bar. You know, my sister's older than I am by a couple years. And so we go up to the bar and we're like, cool, let's do like a champagne tasting. And they carded my sister and not me. And my mother straight up walked up and was like, are you gonna card him too? Good times. And the person behind the bar was like, I guess, sure.
What a magical moment.
It was great. Fun fact, facial hair makes people think you're older than you are.
I have facial hair, I just look like old. Maybe like a 40-year-old man by the time I hit 30.
Or being tall.
Yeah, being tall helps, that's true.
Because everyone knows after you get past high school, you just keep going taller.
Yeah, it's like tree rings, right?
Yeah, for sure. If you've stopped growing, that means you've already hit your peak.
That's what the lines on your calves are. It's just the growth each year.
Right. All right. Do we want to play some Dungeons and Dragons today?
Nah, I think we're good.
Oh, okay. Well, it was nice having this short 3-minute conversation with y'all.
Everyone launch your competitive Frogger games?
We're doing a Frogger speedrun contest.
Wait, can we though?
We're getting prepared for esports in the Olympics.
No, but Frogger. I really want to play Frogger now, guys.
Too bad we're playing Dungeons and Dragons. So, where we left off last time, you had worked your way through a sort of hidden pre-cataclysm vault that was this pyramid. And you made your way past a bunch of traps, an annoying goddamn labyrinth, some mechanical and magical guards, all the way up to this evil spirit that was imprisoned at the top. And throughout your little trek, you discovered little bits and pieces of ancient writings of this one person's diary talking about a stranger who fell from the stars and who carried with them a staff. And shortly after defeating the Tao, the evil spirit at the top of the pyramid, you found this staff. Albert, plucky, young, not-so-young adventurer that he is, struck it against the stones and was gifted a vision of sort of the world in a somewhat ethereal state. And when he looked at himself and Lifo, your fellow robotic paladin, you saw burning inside each of you this sort of energy And then when you looked at Constance, you saw just the like ethereal outline, the real world coming through your vision of Constance and nothing else. And where we left off, Albert had been looking around the room, beholding these small shards that he was seeing thanks to the staff, and openly weeping. So, with this in mind, what do you do?
All right, so I've reached out to one of the shards and I experienced overwhelming despair, right?
Grief. Yeah.
Yeah, grief. I mean, I guess I am openly weeping, but I'm gonna fumble about like in the air and try and reach for a different shard to see if I experience something else.
Constance, Albert is sort of reaching out at nothingness in the air, and reaches over to the side a bit and then sobs.
I'm gonna go ahead and so I struck the staff against the ground, right?
Mm-hmm.
Uh, so I assume the staff is still on the ground. I'm gonna see if I can deactivate it.
Yeah, if you let go of it, or if you will the effect to end.
I'm gonna go ahead and will the effect to end.
Okay. Yeah, all the like wispiness of the world just fades away. Like it's pulling away from you, and then you're left with mundane reality.
You good there? Got
Constance. I like Albert just throws the staff at her. Constance, tap this against the ground and tell me what you see.
all right. I just like funk.
Yeah. So as we saw before, as the metal cap strikes the stones beneath your feet, a sort of shockwave of this wispy ethereal energy flows out from you within your particular field of vision, and you see, as before, the two paladins, both Lifo and Albert, standing there. They're sort of smoky shapes lit up by these inner burning slivers, and then around you in the room, and you're still standing partially in that little trapdoor in the tunnel, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and so like even down in the tunnel, you can see it's not just the room. There are these shards floating about.
What do I see when I look at the guy's corpse?
You just see the bones. It's all foggy and wispy. It's sort of like in Lord of the Rings when Frodo puts the ring on.
Well, I guess I'm going to follow the Vessinger lead and just touch. Oh, what's this?
You reach out and touch one of the shards, and for a moment you feel an external sense of hostility, and then within you feel triumph. You feel great.
Yeah. And I go, I'll like hit the staff on the ground again and hand it back to.
Right.
Oh, that was great, man. That was.
Constance, please. What? We're trying to work here, all right? What did you see?
Shininess and crystal things. They're great.
Lifo, what did he look like?
Shiny and
chrome.
Did you look at yourself?
No. Why would I look at myself? That's silly. There were shiny things, okay?
Did you see shards?
Oh yeah, all over the place. They're great. I love them.
Interesting. All right, Lifo, come over here.
As commanded.
All right, tap the staff against the ground.
Grabs the staff, taps it against the ground.
All right, describe what you're seeing.
I see the room. I see the two of you standing within it.
All right, do we look different in some way?
Not that I can discern, no.
Just standing.
All right.
There are shards in the room?
Do you see shards
Of
around?
course, yes.
Try reaching out
Is
and
this
touching.
somehow different from usual?
Damn it, Leafo.
All right, Lifo, would you please try reaching out and touching one of the shards flying around the room?
He reaches out and you see his hand appears to be moving toward you no matter what angle you're looking at him from, and then his hand disappears briefly. And then he pulls it back. Yes. It is as it always has been, a piece of the prime material.
I think we're both just standing there just like...
Lifo, did anything change when you tapped the staff against the ground?
No. Were you expecting it to?
That's not how we see the world.
That is
Of course not. You are mortal.
Yeah, well, he has a point
Wait.
there.
Stop.
Can I
Stop.
see the staff back then?
I will not take that as an insult.
He, like, his body remains rigid and he turns his head to look at the staff and examines it. You can see his eyes, like, focus and adjust a couple times. Oh, I see.
Do you know what this is? More than just a staff?
It confers upon you the Master's sight.
The Masters. And what master would this be?
Mine.
Oh.
But, yeah.
Well, he is... If he is
We're
a
just...
paladin, that does make sense.
So, here, just... let's just
Did
take
you
the
want this
staff
back?
Yeah, yes. I think, like, we both reached to grab it.
Alright, we need to take this back to the ship and try this out with John and Mabel. Those shards, are they part of the prime... I have a question. Those shards, are they related to the person wielding the staff or to the plane itself? Or the prime material? What are you speaking?
They are peculiar to this sphere. They are part of why I have chosen it.
He cries when he touches them. I feel great. So, do we...
Was it just a matter of happenstance? We picked different shards, so different things
That
happened?
implies a connection. Do either of you know what caused this?
I activated the staff and then touched a...
I was speaking of the shards, not your sensation.
I stop. I know someone who does. Guys turn and look into the distance, and we see the camera zoom all the way to the Dragon Isles.
Yeah.
Alright. Well.
There's
that,
a library there. That's pretty great.
That's a fair point. Actually, there's one more thing I'd like to do. I'm gonna go ahead and wait. Basically, everyone saw me pick up that dagger earlier, right?
Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
Alright.
they may not have been paying attention necessarily. I think most of the NPCs were celebrating, and Gamzees and Constance were having a moment. So it's up to the two of you if you want Albert to have been noticed. Or rather, Albert, it's up to you if you want to have been noticed by the NPCs. Constance, it's up to you if you want to have seen.
I think it wasn't necessarily intentionally discreet, but
It just went
he
unnoticed.
just kind of went and picked it up.
Mm-hmm.
Just instantly, and everyone else was paying attention to the celebration.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I'm gonna take the staff and I'm gonna smack it on the ground and I'm gonna inspect the dagger while my vision is all fucked.
Yeah, so looking at this impossibly white dagger, it's not ethereal. It's not wispy like everything else. It just is what it is. And as you move it about, the shards sort of like drift slightly away from it. Not like violently, and not even magnetically, where if you try to put it too close, it'll like push further away. Just sort of like they're being disturbed.
They're interacting in some way.
Mm-hmm.
But when I move my hand about, the same reaction does occur.
Precisely.
Okay. And both shards I got the same sensation from.
Yes.
All right, I'm gonna go ahead and like walk around the room and try a different area of space and touch it. See if the same effect happens.
Yeah, Constance Albert is crying again.
Well, okay then. Like, why are you doing this to yourself?
It's for it's all for the sake of knowledge.
Well,
Some questions have to be answered.
Lifo, do you know if this is connected to the ethereal or the astral or the...
Ethereal,
What?
the astral? Are you talking about dive bars and Mulland again? Constance, we know you owe a lot of people money. You can't use the Revolutionary
Are
Army
you
to collect
referring
on
to the
debts.
damage?
Well, what the staff sees into.
The
Are
prime
we border-
material.
I think perhaps what he's saying is that this might be a more true vision to the prime material than ordinary, rather than seeing it from the perspective of it. Is that correct?
Precisely.
So Constance sits there and starts like writing on the ground, like, okay.
All right.
And like a couple minutes later, there's just this scrawling like formula of arcane like science. Okay.
Look, Constance, I know you're not literate, but you do realize you can ask someone else to write something down.
And
All right.
well,
I'm gonna call at least Mabel up here and start getting people moving to this place. Make sure we take all this down properly. And also, I pull out my sendings and John, we need you in here. Again.
top floor.
Oh, all right. I'm on my
And
way.
Send for the troops and Mabel. Be careful, and Mabel, we're gonna need to have you take a look at a couple different things.
What? You like hear distantly? Wait, hold on. Shit. You hear something crash and something tumble over. Fuck. And then she comes over. Okay, sorry, Captain. What was that?
We're gonna need you to come in here and check something out.
Wait, shit. No, hold still. Yeah, I'll be there in just a second. Fuck.
What's going? Mabel, are you all right?
I'm sure she'll be.
just Constance just at this point sitting on the floor. There's just like now like a good corner of the room is just covered in like arcane writings. It's like, how does this work?
I'm gonna go ahead and tap on the ground again and like slash out with the dagger. It's gonna be like a long process of you see Constance like trying to like write down these formulas, and you see Albert just trying them out hands on.
Oh hey, Albert, how does this look? And I just pull out my sword.
Yeah, okay. So, as you wave the dagger around, and it doesn't do anything really any differently. You're not like cutting holes in the world or anything.
Yeah.
But, Constance, what are you doing with the sword? Are you just holding it out?
Yeah, I think like I'm drawing it, and like you just drawing it out, and like possibly like causing something around the room to shift.
Yeah. So, when she draws the sword, Albert, you don't notice anything different. But then when she activates her powers, you notice that the blade, like as she goes through the motion, the blade, drifts through a shard, and the shard breaks in half.
What? How is that possible? Wait, I don't know if that's possible or not. I don't know the mechanics. Constance, do that again.
Constance starts waving the sword around, and
Be careful. Goodness. Break anything.
I think she just like shoots a lightning bolt against a wall or something.
Yeah. So the lightning bolts also, where they impact the shards break up into smaller pieces.
All right, Constance, try just channeling your power. Don't use it. I'm gonna see if like does it. Is there like a visible effect overlaying with her body, or is it just?
Yeah, as she like gathers the energy within herself, you can see that the shards begin to drift a little bit away from her. But as they drift, they all rotate and their points move to point toward her.
You're gonna probably want to take a look.
What? And so it's like tap. Are all of them still just like?
Yeah, there's just like a sort of sphere around you of shards needle pointed toward you.
I feel like I'm in prison again. They
Well,
like pointing swords at me. I'm gonna like try to walk forward and touch one,
Okay.
and I assume they all shift. Or
Are you still channeling energy? Or
Yeah.
are you just reaching out? Yeah, as you move forward, the wall of shards like pushes back away from you.
Man, normally to get this kind of trip, I have to do so.
It's sort of like they're
much.
suspended in like a viscous fluid, and then your movements are causing them to shift.
Okay, so I stop channeling and try to touch one.
Yeah, you touch it, and again, that same feeling of victory, of success.
Okay. Well.
Oh,
Interesting.
and try using your powers on the, just in the air. See what happens.
So, yeah, I'm going to try to focus on one of the shards and use a thing on it.
Yeah, so as you focus on it and like bring your energy to bear on it, go ahead and spend some quantity of psychic points. As you
Some quantity.
yeah, equal to how much energy you think you've used in this room by now.
Okay.
As you bring your energy to bear on this shard, it starts to like divide geometrically and spread out to form a small cloud of dust.
I try to touch the dust.
It's the same.
Ooh, whoa, I just dusted one. Oh, well, that's, I feel like I might be... Am I tearing the world apart? Because that's kind of what I feel like I'm doing.
Lefo, we need some input. Constance's powers, are they having some kind of negative effect on the area around us? Space?
Well,
That depends upon your perspective.
Is it being torn apart in a way that is destroying space as a whole? Or is it...
Is she weakening the integrity of the prime material plane? Yes.
Well,
whoops.
I think that you should be more careful how you use your powers.
Oh, well, that's, Have my powers always been doing this?
You hadn't noticed? Ah, yes. He looks at the staff.
Well,
All right,
nothing you can do about it now.
I
Tap
do
the
need...
staff.
Hold on, can I see the staff for a second?
let's just pass it back and forth. How about both of you put a hand on it?
What happened?
Wait, actually.
Yes, if both of you put a hand on it and tap it against the stones, then the same effect, you know, shockwave goes out, everything turns sort of ethereal and wispy. You can see the shards, you can see the slivers of burning energy within Albert and Lefo, and as he enters the room, John like cautiously climbs the stairs. Hello?
John.
Aye. He walks forward a little more sure of himself.
I take a look.
Yeah, so he has burning inside his chest. There's this sliver of let's say sort of golden energy, and then wreathed around it in these tendrils there's this deep black flame, and toward the edges of the flame it turns crimson.
Oh, so comparing it to my own sliver, it's like there's something gold with black and red wrapped around it. But mine was just black and red.
Yeah, and yours is like moving together.
And his is like writhing about.
Yeah. Well, his is like this core, similar in structure to Letho's, but with this other force wrapped around it.
Well, this is I look down.
I try.
Did I do something wrong?
I feel empty.
You're looking at
And
me a
I think
little
I just
bit
like
funny.
let go and go sit down in my corner and start scrawling more arcane
I'm gonna
stuff.
look over at his pendant, kind of like lean in a little bit closer.
Yeah, you can see a faint thread, sort of like looking at a vortex in water from underneath the water. You can see this thread pulling away from the dark force toward the pendant around his neck.
I'm gonna like take a step away from John. I'm gonna try channel my power and see if there's any kind of effect to it beyond.
Yeah. Go ahead and spend a class resource. Looking down at yourself as you do so, you can see some like a pulse of red, so like orangey red light come from that sliver and go down your arm into your hand, where it dissipates when the effect ends.
So it's literally as simple as. Okay, all right, John.
Aye.
Take the staff and tap it on the ground.
All right. He takes the staff, looks at you a little funny, taps the ground, swears, and drops the staff.
No, you have to hold on to. You have to maintain your grip on the staff, John. It's very important.
This isn't some sort of prank, is it?
Can't be a true sight, so it must be and then just scrawling on the floor again.
If it was a prank, at least Constance would be laughing.
Good point. Seems to have a good sense of humor. Picks up the staff, unlike some paladins I know. Taps the stones. All right. Why are you two blokes glowing?
We don't know. We have some guesses. Look at yourself.
Ugh! Fuck! I I think I understand.
Well, I'm glad we got on the same
I
page
think
very
at
quickly.
some point during this, Constance just lifts an arm and like channels her power to her like hand, just causing everything to just shift and point at her. It doesn't like me.
Bloody hell!
Don't do that. That could potentially have very negative effects on our prime material.
Excuse me?
Don't even worry about. Don't worry about.
I like
John.
shoot a bolt of lightning up.
I'm worrying about it.
Wait till you touch one of the crystals.
Yeah, try. You see the shards around you. Try touching.
He reaches out, and you
Don't
can
drop the staff.
you see. Actually, you don't. Never mind. You don't see anything. But he like catches his breath, and then tears start to fall from his eyes. Fuck.
You guys cry so much.
As a
It's
prank.
great. It's fucking great.
I'm going to stab you, you dimension-destroying monster.
If this might be too soon, but if you stab her, do I get her stuff?
No. Wait. If
Mabel
you
gets
stab
my
her,
stuff.
you can get her stuff. If not, I
Oh.
think we split the loot. Captain, that.
Aye, seems fair.
Anyways.
I think I'm just gonna like slowly draw the Oolite sword.
All right. So
as...
I have some conjecture, but it does seem like this allows us to see divinity in some manner.
Oh, he looks down. I'm glad you think so.
Well,
Mabel.
it's not.
You hear
divinity.
hear footsteps on the stairs, and then you hear somebody slip, and then some swearing, Shit!
Up with us.
I think
Why
I like
all
run
of our
over, grab the staff, and just immediately smack it on the ground before she gets up.
Yeah, she's halfway down the flight of stairs, and she's got like a bunch of papers on the stairs around her. There's a broken inkwell that's slowly pooling ink on the steps.
That's it.
But yes, as you tap the staff against the floor, and the sight is returned to you, you can see within her there's a sort of an emerald energy with little flecks of yellow.
Bad news.
What? I'm dropping my... Oh, fuck! She, like, picks up a piece of parchment that's, like, all covered in ink and, like, tries to shake it off.
Albert? I'm the only one who doesn't have...
Who doesn't have, what, a heart? She, like, puts the papers together.
In a metaphorical way of speaking, perhaps.
I just turn to Leafo. What are these things that I'm seeing inside of people?
Those? Souls.
Yes.
Right.
I just looked up again. No, I just don't have a soul.
So
It's fine.
has Constance, for the duration that you've known her, never had one of those?
That would be correct.
I think just kind of stand there for a second.
Was it expected that she would? He looks around at the other people in the room.
Is it not
Kind of.
normal for
I just look at him.
souls?
You have a soul? Why don't I get a soul?
Because I was created to carry this soul forth into the many worlds and bring justice and order.
Oh, well, he has a good point. Well, isn't it normal for human elves, the mortal races, to have souls?
It is
Common.
typical, but given that none of you had commented on it, I figured it was known.
Well, anything else that's out of the ordinary that we should know about?
Yes, this world is deteriorating.
That's, well,
Actually, we actually knew that one. Okay.
we had some idea that was...
Hmm.
Is that why you came here, to deliver justice to a dying world?
I cannot say.
I didn't... What? I do have a question for you, though, Lito. These souls, they do appear to have different qualities.
Of course, every soul is unique.
Does the way they look have some kind of significance, or is it simply...
In some cases, yes. Frequently, as with your case, they inform you, or they inform the viewer of the origin of one's powers. In the case of Master John, they reveal his connection to the demon held within his necklace. But with most, it speaks simply to their nature.
I think at this point, Constance is like going down the stairs and like helping get all of Mabel's stuff up.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Just
we still have these pipes
as-
and stuff
Hmm?
to deal with. We still have pipes and stuff to deal with.
Yeah,
And it's her job to research it all.
right.
Well, John, now that we know what demon soul, or demon power drawing soul... Wait, hold on. What's that mean if... Never mind. So that we know what this vaguely looks like, we could use the staff to hunt down cult... We?
Well, if it works the way our teen friend says it does, there's a chance.
Wait, I just turn and look at Leafo. You can just tell if someone's drawing their power from demons?
He looks between all of you again. That is correct.
We're gonna have to have a conversation about what you can and can't do.
Wait, hold on. Isn't that technically my class ability?
Yes, it is. That is a paladin class ability.
wait, like, and there's this moment, like, I never use this because it never seems to have worked. Wait, I'm gonna grab the staff, tap it on the floor,
Mm-hmm.
and then compare it to, and then like
Your sense good and evil.
Yeah.
It's definitely different. Your sense good and evil is more of a feeling that you get. Looking upon great evil, your stomach turns a little bit. Looking at great good, maybe your heartbeat speeds up a bit, but whereas this is purely visual.
Okay, so Lifo can just see like that.
Mm-hmm.
We already knew that one though. Well, see.
I think at this point I'm just gonna like turn to Mabel. So it turns out I don't have a soul.
What?
I'm not
Literally.
surprised.
This is
I just
upsetting.
want to. She like pulls her papers to her chest. I just want to apologize. I didn't know. I was just joking.
Well, we didn't. Don't sweat it. We didn't realize that this is what any of this meant. To begin with.
She like holds out a hand for a second and then like pulls it back. What did you want me to come up here for?
Well,
Right. Try taking the staff and smashing it against the ground with
to tapping. Hey,
tapping.
don't smash the staff.
Sure.
It's a magical effect. Be prepared. It's gonna be weird.
Okay, yeah. I mean, she taps the staff and sees the stuff, and you guys have her touch a shard, and she cries, and
Okay. So we know the general. That's basically all we need to know.
Yeah.
We need to know the general reaction of opinion.
of the most normal person on the ship.
she is the most normal, but with this much exposure to you two, I'm not sure she still counts as normal.
Yeah, she does have a unique soul too, apparently, in some way.
Well, everyone has a unique soul, is what he said.
Yeah.
Everyone has a
And
different
normally
soul.
it doesn't mean anything. It's just unique.
Fair.
So,
All right. So how about getting like 50 randomly generated souls for all of our crewmates?
Yeah, no, I'm not gonna do that.
who's the cultist in our crew?
I will describe important characters upon request and use of the staff, but beyond that, no.
Yeah. Okay.
I will let you know that there is a mechanical effect to the staff.
Oh.
If you use a bonus action to tap the staff on the ground, it gives you the effects that we have described narratively, but it also gives you true sight within your sight radius.
Ooh.
I like not having to do perception checks. Wait, hold on. There's a much more important thing here. I take the staff. I pull up my compass. My spyglass.
Your spyglass, okay.
I try using the effect in conjunction with the world map.
You just see the map all wispy and warbly.
All right, so it doesn't.
It doesn't
can't
improve or enhance your vision with the
map. I can only see that
hologram.
physically.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, that does answer some questions about how that functions. I have to research that, anyways.
Yeah, you do.
I need to figure out how to use this thing too. Well, anyways, Mabel, there's some piping that needs to be run under the building around.
Oh, right. I think like Constance just hops into like the hole again and just starts messing with stuff.
Yeah,
She hands the staff back to you and appears to be glad to be doing anything other than that.
other than proving that Constance has no soul and destroys the prime material plane.
Yeah.
I am the eternal storm. I bring chaos. It's what I do.
That's not eternal. That's the.
Yeah. So she heads down into the little like trapdoor area and into the tunnel. And like shrinks away when she notices there's a decaying skeleton in there.
Oh, right.
But sort of like gingerly climbs down the opposite end of the trapdoor and like moves backward into the tunnel. And then looks at takes a look at the pipes, which, as previously described, are sort of these like black stone tubes with occasional rings of silver and gold, and then spaced here and there are these sort of almost glassy, transparent sections that allow you to see the sort of small remaining quantity of glowing turquoise fluid that exists inside these pipes. And she starts to examine them and mutter to herself, and she's writing stuff down and solving equations. I think, based on these grounding rings, she says, pointing to like the metal rings, I think that these are meant to sort of draw energy from the arcane, but they're not connected to it anymore.
So this is, and then it just Constance like goes down like, so we could. Do you think you could adapt this to drawing from the arcane if we reattached it?
Yeah, potentially. Yeah, I think so. We'd have to figure out where the source point is.
I think Constance just smiles. Well then. We have some work to do.
I think we're coming up on our first hour in, so I think now is a good time for us to take our first break of the evening. So we're gonna do that. We're gonna step away for a couple minutes, get some water, stretch our legs, and then we will come back for hour 2, episode 16 of Unfettered, and we will see you there in just a few minutes. Cheers.